playing a game written by James Joel, and let's run the game. The game's called Zombie Hotel. Answers, perhaps the story breathed out without them from the beginning. Hmm. The room is dim. In the corner, an old oil lamp burns weakly, its flame flickering with unease. Shadows stretch and tremble across the walls. The light feels unstable, as if it's about to go out. You open your eyes slowly. Your body is heavy. You're lying on a bed you've never seen before. Every small movement makes the mattress creak. Sharp, irregular sounds that seems too loud to silence, like something's listening. Ooh. The room is unfamiliar. Cracked walls, broken furniture, a crooked desk leans against one wall, its drawer half open, as if someone searched it in a rush. The windows are covered with an old, yellowed newspapers. You can't see outside. You don't know whether it's day or night. So cool. You written it in second person. There's no sound, no wind, no voices, no distant life. Only the faint hiss of the flame and the steady rhythm of your own breath. The silence presses in, thick and unnatural, very poetic, I like it. You don't know where you are, you don't remember how you got here, but your instincts scream, you shouldn't stay. You have to act now. I will check the desk since it's been scrambled. You turned and walked towards the furniture beside the bed. It was an old bedside table with cracks all over the surface, and the wood boards had become grey and fragile due to moisture and erosion of time. The other furniture in the room was not much better. Shabby chairs and broken wood boards scattered in the corners, which had long since lost their use. You squatted down and tried to open the drawer of the bedside table. As soon as you exerted force, the wooden handle of the drawer fell off in your hand with a click. The drawer did not move at all, leaving only a useless wreckage. You looked down at the broken wood in your hand, feeling an indescribable absurdity and uneasiness. You gently knocked on the corner of the cabinet, and the wood boards echoed almost like an empty shell, as if it could collapse at touch. It was a miracle that this cabinet would still maintain its current appearance. You stood up and scanned the room. All furniture was like a corpse that could fall down at any time, but was still barely maintained in shape by some force. I gotta say, I love the background illustrations. They really do add that atmospheric touch to your story. Okay, so we're back on the first one. I think, yes. So I have to open the door, and I approach the door. It's unlocked. The moment you pull it gently, the rusty metal hinges make a harsh squeak, as if something has been sleeping for a long time and suddenly awakened. The door slowly opens, and the old damp smell hits you. You stand at the door, and in front of you is a narrow corridor. In the doors opposite, a mottled metal door plate has a few faded numbers written on it, 301. You look around. The corridor is long, but surprisingly narrow, as if the building itself does not welcome people. The walls are very close. The sense of oppression has become stronger as your eyes move. This place does not look like an ordinary residence, but more like some kind of old-fashioned hotel. You look down at the ground and notice a worn carpet and the wood paneling on the wall. This floor may be the third floor. At the end of the corridor, you see a staircase leading down. The corridor is like a bottomless gap, and the depths are completely swallowed by darkness. The window at the other end of the corridor, like the one in your room, is sealed with thick old newspaper. There's no light, no wind, only an irritating silence. Mm. The air is so quiet that it almost freezes. But this is not the kind of calm silence, but a kind of silence that is waiting for something. Every inch of the corridor is wrong. The space is too narrow, the lights are too dim, the front of the house number is too old. Everything makes you feel cold from the bottom of your heart. Mm. You choose 301 or go downstairs. I like how the background image changes as well with when you progress in the story. Love it. Um, I will go downstairs. Room 302 opposite is surprisingly quiet, but you don't want to know what's behind it. You look away and focus on the stairs leading downstairs. The stairs are narrow and steep. The handrails are full of cracks, and the wooden steps are old and out of repair. You hold the handrail tightly and take the first step carefully. Creak. Every time you step on a step, the wood board under your feet makes a sharp sound, as if it's protesting your existence. The sound echoes in the empty corridor, and it seems unusually clear, as if it's someone's listening in the dark. The light above your head is getting further and further away, and the air around you is getting colder and colder. You grit your teeth and stepping on the slow and heavy pace. You finally reach the second floor. Now you reach the second floor, the layout of this floor seems to be familiar with the one above, and the smell of rotting old wood permeates the air, mixed with a strange stench that makes people sick. The corridor is still dim and narrow. There is a dead silence all around, with no signs of any door opening. The layout here is exactly the same as the third floor, which makes you a little uneasy. The oil lamp in the room, stair, and walls are like a devil's shackles imprisoning you here. Oof. Since we're already on the second floor, let's go downstairs again. Let's make it out of here. You don't want to stay here. You feel your chest tightening as if every second you stay, your rationality would be swallowed up by this space. So you take a step and continue to walk downstairs without thinking. The stairs are getting darker and darker. The wooden planks under your feet are getting looser, as if reminding you, the further you go down, the less you can turn back. Creepy. The stairs in the dark are so long that you can hardly see the end. You can't see anything. You can only hold the cold handrail beside you and grope forward bit by bit. Every step seems to be stepping on the void. You feel that you're being watched by something invisible. There seem to be countless pairs of eyes hidden in the darkness, quietly waiting for you to make mistakes, waiting for you to fall, waiting for you to be exposed to them. Fear quietly emerges, like cold sweat crawling up your neck from your back little by little. Ooh, very nice descriptions. You don't know how long you've walked on this staircase. There's no sense of time, no reference. Only layers of darkness float around you, like a thick liquid slowly but continuously surrounding you. Until a certain moment, you touch the end of the handrail. You stretch your palm forward, but there was no wooden frame to hold on to. You stop and your heart tightens. Oh, that's why it's so dark in the background. You're here. In the silence, you gradually feel that the outlines around you become looming. It was as if my eyes had adapted to the long darkness, and it was as if a faint light was slowly seeping out from some unknown corner. You stand here, take a deep breath, and wait for your eyes to adjust to darkness. Gradually, some vague outlines emerge. A counter stands in front of you on the left, and opposite is the outline of a sofa. I cannot see the sofa in the painting, but in the front, facing you, is a door. It is closed and heavy, as if it has not been moved for a long time. You can't see anything farther. Everything is surrounded by darkness. But the stench in the air is getting stronger and stronger, much stronger than upstairs. You cover your nose, but you can't stop the disgusting smell from invading your lungs. This place is not safer than upstairs. It is just closer to the exit or some kind of end. Oh no, are we going to die? But hope is right in front of you. You hold your breath, lower the body, and carefully approach the wall. Every step is extremely careful, for fear of disturbing something. Lurking in the dark, the door looks like it is made of heavy wooden boards, and outside is sealed by several long rotten wooden strips. It is already dilapidated, and the mottled surface is full of cracks, as if it can be completely knocked open with a just strong kick. You reach out and gently pull the door handle, but it doesn't move. You look down and find the door lock is still intact. It is an old-fashioned mechanical lock, with a simple structure but still tight. Without a key, the door cannot be opened at all. Under the rotten shell, it is still firmly a locked exit. You can try to force your way in, or you can try look around for the key. You glance at the blurry hallway in the dark. I don't want to stay here. Maybe I should just break the door. Let's break the door. When you made up your mind to break the door violently, you slowly stood up. Your fear was still here, but you could no longer bear the oppression brought by this building. You didn't want to wait any longer. You didn't want to escape anymore. You raised your leg and kicked the wooden door that looked rotten. Despair. A deafening noise exploded in the silence, as if waking up the entire space. The door panel was kicked through by you. A big hole cracked, wood chips splashed everywhere, and your foot stuck directly in the door hole. The sharp wooden thorn scratched your calf and ankle, and blood quickly oozed from the wound. Oh no! The severe pain made you cry out, but the door is still not fully opened. At this moment, a low and tearing roar came from the darkness. It was like a ghost crawling out of the depths of hell, awakened by your own hands. You froze, your hair stood on the end, and you didn't dare to look back, but you heard it clearly, those footsteps, messy and rapid, more than one approaching you from the depth of darkness. This is not a breakthrough to escape. This is the door of death that you knocked on with your own hands. Oh no, can I still escape? You struggled desperately. Your forehead was covered with cold sweat. Your hands tightly grasped the door, trying to pull out the foot that was stuck and bleeding. Every twitch brought a tearing pain, and the wooden thorns pierced deeply into your muscles like nails. You clenched your teeth, not daring to scream. There was only one thought in your mindscape. But in the darkness, a footstep approaching, too close. You could turn around. Before you could turn around, a cold twisted claw suddenly grabbed your back, and the sharp nails instantly tore your clothes and skin. A hideous blood mark exploded on your back, and blood gushed out. You let out a throat-tearing scream, and the whole person leaned forward. Half your body hit the door, and the wound was burning with pain. Before you pulled out your foot, your body was pulled tightly from behind. More claws touch, panting. The group of unknown creatures have surrounded you. You waved your arms with all your strength, but even the slightest resistance was ineffective. They pounced on you, dragged you away from the door, biting, scratching, and tearing. Oh, is this the end? I can choose from which way I die? Let's die from biting. Oh, okay, cool. We're all back to the first page. This was really fun. Thanks for showing this to me, James. So I've just finished recording the previous one, and here is my elemental tetrad involving mechanics, story, aesthetics, and tech. So for the zombie hotel that James created, it's definitely a word RPG, which you get to play as a character, but with word choices. Um, so I would say the main mechanic would be button pressing, and that's how you can choose between different elements. Um, and for story, it's definitely horror and thriller, and aesthetics includes how you can see it's very dark and cold and definitely comes across as oppressive. And the tech used is, I believe, Twine, and it is delivered on Twitch as the main platform.